Hey there, Thundercats Classic fans, this is Wesatron. Today we're going to be looking at Bandai America Thundercats Classic Mumm-Ra. This is based on his appearance in the 80s television show, and he is the new 6-inch version. The classics previously had been an 8-inch, but Bandai has gone crazy because fans whined, so now we got him in 6-inch. Figure looks great in packaging. He actually looks a lot better here, I would say, than the photos I've seen. I've been a little leery. The midsection looked kind of chubby to me with the weird musculature and whatnot, but up close it's really not as bad as it seems in pictures. Same as Lion-O packaging wise, 18 points of articulation. Thundercats Classics up here at the top. You can barely see that. Ages 4 and up. On the side you got kind of a Batman animated series stylized version of Mumm-Ra from the 80s cartoon. The back says the exact same thing as Lion-O, just generic, roaring back into action, highly detailed, blah 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 blah. Create action poses, so you know that if he looks like this when you pull him out of the box, you can actually put his arms out to the side and he'll look like that, because you can create action poses. Down here in the bottom, we got to look at the other 6-inch figures that are out or coming out. Here's Lion-O, classic Lion, or the modern Lion-O, modern Tigra, and Chitara, all looking pretty great. I can't wait for these figures to come out. That's pretty much it for packaging. Not much to say. It looks good. I like the way they're doing the names kind of vertically down the side. Very cool. Looks great. I'm into it. Let's get this figure out and see how he looks. And here we have classic Mumm-Ra, the ever-living, out of packaging. He looks good. Like I said, he doesn't look nearly as fat in hand as he does in pictures. Very cool looking. The symbol there, the twin snakes, looks good. His head, you know, not bad. Definitely not the best I've ever seen, but certainly not the worst. Camera does have trouble focusing, so I do apologize for that. He's got all these wild wraps. You have to assemble these. There's unfortunately screw holes in his back, so you've got these to kind of plug in. This one seems to work solely for the effect of wrapping around his arm if it's out here to the side, because otherwise it's just kind of hanging out there like a twist tie. So, but these parts are down in the packaging. He's got a big, what is that, hexagonal peg on his back, like a slot, where it almost seems like they wanted to add a cape and did not, which is unfortunate because he is a capeless Mumm-Ra. I mean, I imagine people are going to be making cloth capes pretty soon for this guy, but it makes me wonder if they were planning on releasing another version down the road, perhaps even with a closed-mouth Lion-O, maybe do a closed-mouth Mumm-Ra with a cape. Who knows? Who knows what Bandai's thinking at this point? But yeah, the figure looks good. He's got, you know, nice, weird-looking kind of rib cages here, but I kind of like it being sort of strange. It's not your standard musculature, so it makes him look a little more kind of crazy or demonic or whatever. The snakes on the helmet look really good. If I can, yeah, they did a good job there. His boot detail is really nice. You can see they've got sculpted fur. There we go. So that looks really great. The skirt looks good. This is a nice kind of non-glossy paint that they used on it. It's real flat. It doesn't reflect light, you know, too bad, so it looks very natural. Just like his ID number from Auschwitz, which is pretty sweet, because if you didn't know, Mumm-Ra is Jewish and spent some time with Magneto back in Auschwitz or Dachau or whatever they said it was. Yeah, figure looks good. I dig him. These spikes here will not be harmful to you or your kids. They are somewhat soft, so don't freak out, parents. Articulation-wise, he has got a ball-jointed neck, which is a little better than Lion-O's. He's got some tilt-back action, so he can sort of look up a little bit, which is good. You know, full 360, of course, on the neck. Some side-to-side tilt, pretty good, but not much looking down, so he will have to face enemies from a distance because he's kind of looking up all the time. You can tell that from the side. Good joints in the arms, similar to the 8 inches or the Lino that's out, which is, swivel hinge. Swivel biceps, single jointed elbow, ball and socket wrist. He's got that nice ball jointed torso that a lot of the Thundercats figures are sharing right now. He's got not much in the way of side to side, but forward and back, well, back mostly. Forward is, again, not great, but back is pretty solid. Looks good. He does have swivel hinge hips. Unfortunately, there's no slit in the skirt to allow them to move, so your range on the legs is out that far forward and that far back. It's not great. And out to the side, you've got almost nothing too. You can go from here to here. That's it. I really would have preferred if they put some kind of slit down here. I'm afraid if I cut it myself that it's just going to end up being like a crack in the figure that's going to wear, and eventually the whole skirt will come off. So I don't know what toy designers are thinking when they build figures with skirts. They don't ever think ahead. Single hinge knees go to there. Swivel boot tops, just like Lino, and hinged ankles and rocker ankles, so he can get those nice wide stances that he can never take because his hips are restricted. Unfortunately, the fur is also connected to the boot, so forward motion on the ankle only goes about that far. So his back motion is excellent, very nice, but forward, very restricted. Real bummer. Aside from the wraps, the only other accessories this guy has got are these hands, which are holding things hands. These hands pop off really, really easily off the ball joint. Almost disturbingly so. Not very tight at all. While these guys are very tight. And I did have these popping off quite a bit when I was just, doing standard things like trying to turn them and stuff, just because they are so tight. They just want to pop off that joint. But the problem with that is that he comes with no weapon, so why give us holding things hands if you don't have a weapon to carry? I have no idea. If you have the modern 6-inch Mumm-Ra, I suppose you could take his dagger here and hand it over, but or his sword for that matter, the Sword of Plundar, but I don't know why he didn't come with it. Honestly, Lionel got a ton of accessories, and we get these. Nifty. Yeah, for $14.99, I really expect more from my action figures. Granted, it is a unique sculpt. It probably won't get much reuse. But, I mean, it's $15. I mean, that's a lot of money for a toy. And you got to get some value out of your figures. I'm into the figure. I think he looks great. He looks great next to Lino, of course, with his rage face. He's much taller, which is nice. Let me see if I can... He's got no give to his head at all. Okay, can't tilt his head back any further, so he's going to look down a little bit. But, see, much taller than Lino. Lino's eye line is almost to the bottom of his chin, so that looks good. Yeah, the figure's nice. He really is. I mean, $15 is, like I said, a lot of money. I would expect more accessories. It'd be nice to get a cape or a sword or something instead of just these wraps, which, they are cool, but really only one is going to do you any good because the other one is sort of restricts how you can pose him. I mean, but that looks pretty good, just with that one on its own. With this one, you see the pegs in kind of a weird spot. They didn't put it like in this nice solid piece out here in the middle where you could, kind of have them all crazy behind him. No, they put it up on this, so it's going to have to hang funny no matter what. It's a really, really weird design. I'm not sure why they did it. If I can even get this thing back on here. They plug in fairly solidly, I say, as the plug pops out. Come on. Yay for spending 10 minutes on camera trying to do this. There we go. I think it's in there pretty solid. So, I don't know. I guess you could kind of wrap it, tuck it behind his arm like that. Not bad. But I really did expect more in the way of accessories from the 6-inch line. especially at the cost. I mean, the other 6-inch figures we've gotten a lot of accessories with. Lion-O Modern has got tons of accessories, the gloves and everything. I guess Panther was a little restricted too, so it appears that the larger figures are the ones who are suffering. But overall, it is a pretty solid figure. If you're a classic Thundercats fan, you know, an 80s fan, then you know you're going to be safe getting it. You will like the figure. I would like to see what people decide to do about the skirt to get his legs moving more. If they decide to cut it or just remove it and make a false skirt out of cloth or something or what. But overall, the figure is solid. I would say it'd be closer to a $10 to $12 figure for lack of accessories. But, you know, if you're a classic Thundercats fan, what am I talking about? You're going to buy it. So, yeah, good figure. Decent price. Not crazy about the price, but it'll work. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. He's a solid figure. He needs more for the price, but I don't think you'd be disappointed in him if you have him in hand. He looks much better in hand than he does in photos. The fatness of the waist really isn't that bad. He just looks like a kind of like a bodybuilder. You know, he's not got the tiny waist, but you know, like a healthy muscular waist. We'll say that. So anyway, this is Classics 6-inch Mumm-Ra from Wesotron. Make sure you comment, rate, subscribe. Check out infinitehollywood.com for more cool reviews. Newt's doing some great stuff over there. So yeah, check your targets. This guy should be out right now. And good luck. Thanks. Bye.